Hey, what's up everybody, Marcus and today we're back with a new video, playing on Pirth Outskirts versus Big Hook Monster. I'm going to be playing Forge and he's going to be playing Ender. So this is a really hard matchup for Forge, so let's see how this turns out. There is a couple of builds you can do. I preferably like my own build that I created. It's by far the best build for Forge on this map, at least in my opinion. So let's see how this goes down. First, I'm going to start ramming his hawk and collecting the supplies he is taking, so he's not going to be able to build up straight away, and he's going to have a little small delay. At least that's what I'm going for right here. Now, the key is here to get Gunner at the very right moment and to build up your base in the meanwhile. So, depending on when he goes for a barracks or when he's going for a reactor, you're going to have to need Gunner. So, I'm going to check. If he's going for a barracks second, then I will be going for Gunner straight away. If he's going for a barracks third, then I can delay Gunner a little bit. A lot of Andersons like to not build a barracks at all versus a Forge because they get a bigger economy to get more hawks locked up in their bases to win the hawk war. And in that case, I like to get my expo even before I get Gunner. Now the reason for this is because I just simply do not need Gunner earlier, and I do not want to waste any unnecessary supplies on earlier Gunner. Now as you just saw, he killed one of my Warthogs. This is not a huge problem, but this is gonna mean that I'm gonna have to scout this expo out again to see what he's going for. I'm gonna have to go Gunner. You always want to go reactor third, otherwise you'll never be in time to stop a barrack second. And now I see he's still not going for a barrack, so I still do not need to get Gunner up, even though I do queue it up. It's not necessary. So I'm just gonna wait. If he queues up a barracks third right now, I will definitely get Gunner and make sure to stop that Marine. If he goes for a supply pad, then I will not queue up Gunner, and he's gonna go for a supply pad, so I do not need Gunner yet. So when he's going for a delayed barracks like that and just save up a lot of hawks to make sure that he can do a lot of damage with reactor 5th, it looks like he's not building right there, but he actually is building a reactor, so he's spamming a lot of hawks. I do not really need Gunner yet, so I'm gonna build an extra supply pad. I'm not gonna leave that spot open to make Gunner right now, and I am just going to go for a barracks on my expo. If you do need to get Gunner, you don't want to build an extra supply pad on your base. That's not a good idea. So, his reactor is getting up right now. He's probably spamming a lot of hawks. And what my hawks, I still need to get Gunner. Don't forget that. But I can delay it by a huge mile, by a huge march. The reason for this is, right now I'm not going to use my hawks anymore to harass him. I am going to use my hawks to defend, and I do not need to have as much hawks. The hawks are most definitely going to die in this situation. They are going to die straight up. The reason for this is pretty simple. He's going to outnumber me by a huge march because he can double pump the entire time. That does not mean that you don't want to build any more hawks. As you can see, I am building more hawks. Well, I'm trying to get a vehicle depot up. And what this is going to do is you want to have your depot in the exact spot where I'm going to put in. The reason for this is that you can put your hawks in between the depot and the Marine, and you'll have a little extra chance of winning the hawk war. Now, I do have Gunner, and I'm waiting for his hawks to actually approach my base and make sure that I can, distract him. The Marines and the hawks, everything should be distracting him. Now, this is very unfortunate. I tell my hawk to go away and he just randomly drives back. So that is going to cost me an extra hawk. But I'm going to take a ram off here, and my depot is definitely going to get up. If I had one more hawk right here, I would have been in a way better position. So now it's going to be a little bit tricky. I'm going to have to try to distract all his Warthogs. He does have a lot of Warthogs though, so he could possibly take it out. I do have a lot of red bars. I really don't know how my hawks got red bars so fast. Like, I don't know what happened. Probably just messed up right here. So the Marine is helping a little bit, and I still have two red bar Warthogs. And there's not really any way he's going to try and stop that depot. He's trying to deny me from getting those supplies, but I want to try keeping my hawks alive so I can, collect those supplies. Because I don't want to die. I don't want to give him all those supplies. So I got my tank out right now. I went for a station, and this is definitely, it's not looking too bad for me. And I'm just going to get a second depot up. You always want to have two vehicle depots. If you're on one vehicle depot and you're going to make Spartans, that is possibly a good idea. But the thing is, you're never going to get canister shell as fast. and you're never gonna get numbers up as fast. And this is not good because of the fact that if you have 2 tanks and he has 2 gremlins, he's gonna be able to stun both of your units for about, I don't know, how long does it last? 8 seconds? Yeah, I think 8 seconds. Now if you have 1 Spartan tank, he's gonna be able to stun that for 16 or like 14 seconds. You know, I'm taking two seconds into because he might stun you a little bit earlier with the second one. But the thing is, you want to try to get as much stock tanks out as possible. You don't really want to go for Spartans on this map. Spartans is possible, of course. And if you feel like you can, if I would make 1 Spartan right now and put it in one of the tanks, like I would have no production at all at one point, but I will have 4 tanks with 1 Spartan tank at one very moment, and that would basically mean that at that point I am way stronger than I should be. So I'm not doing that though. I'm gonna tech up. I do have a decent amount of tanks. I have 3. I'm gonna get 4 soon. I have been double pumping tanks, and I started it, I mean, probably just after he was able to get any sorts of stuff out, to get any sort of gremlins out. So he could have about 4 to 5 or maybe 6, 7 gremlins. So that I do not know though, because I do not know how much he made it quite a lot of hogs, but it is possible. So he could roll up right now. This is probably the best time for an Enders to attack. I will have 5 stock tanks, and Enders will probably have Grenadier and about 7 or 8 gremlins in a normal game situation, possibly a Hornet or 2. And at this moment, you just gotta hope that Enders either makes a micro mistake or just doesn't push at all. Because once you get Kenny on this map and you're on a fluent double pump, Forge actually has a chance of winning. It starts to get into the point where the game where the eco actually starts paying off by a huge margin, and Forge actually starts getting good. Now this is one thing. He tried to take me out of the reactor. I tried to quickly queue up another tank, but I got lucky there. Basically I got lucky. The flamer was already damaged. The marine just didn't die on the black bar, and I got lucky. So yeah, otherwise I had to sell a supply pad, build a barracks again, and sell the barracks and get a supply pad again. So now as you can see, he has about 8 to 9 gremlins, but canister shell. Oh, and he also has a couple of hornets, like 3 or 4. So he actually went for hornets as well. Gremlins are good because they stun the front tanks and the other ones can't really move. But canister shell tanks, they just rape. They just rape everything. So once you get Kenny, you just want to push hard. You want to keep sacking all your units into his units. Because if you're on a solid double pump of canister shell, and you just keep cannying and sacking everything, and especially into the gremlins, then you're gonna be really, really good, because you're gonna win this game at this point. So this is the strategy. I'm not saying it always works, but I felt like people need another tutorial again. He tries to go into Tech 3, but I pushed before that, so that's a good thing. This is the strategy you want to use. Sometimes you want to get Gunner earlier if he tries to get the barracks earlier, but do not forget, if he gets the barracks earlier, his eco isn't that good either. So, you know, your eco is a little delayed, but his eco is also a little delayed. And I don't know who's affecting that more. I really have no idea on what leader it has more effect. So you can see for yourself, you can tweak it a little bit, but this is essentially what you want to go for. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial on Forge. More Forge gameplay coming up soon, and also the more games versus the Olympians coming up soon, and probably some tournament games as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. So yeah, bye! Ready for the